Captain Li Tae stood at the command center window, looking out at the stars. The lunar defense station Aegis Prime moved slowly around the moon. Earth hung in the black sky like a blue marble. It was a normal Tuesday morning in space. Li Tae had been doing this job for 8 years. He watched for threats. He protected Earth. Nothing exciting ever happened. The coffee in his cup was still hot. The morning report said everything was quiet. No asteroids coming too close, no space pirates in the area, no enemy ships anywhere near Earth space. Li Tae was about to sit down when the alarm started screaming. "Captain!" Pilot Bay Nari ran to his side. Her face was white with fear. Something big just came out of hyperspace. Really big. Li Tae put down his coffee and looked at the main screen. What he saw made his blood turn cold. Ships. Hundreds of them. They were huge, dark, and shaped like knives. Each one was bigger than a city. They had appeared from nowhere, right at the edge of Earth's solar system. "How many?" Li Tae asked. "The computer is still counting," Bay Nari said. Her hands moved fast over the controls. "At least 500, maybe more. They're moving toward Earth." Li Tae had never seen ships like these. They were black metal with red lights. Strange symbols covered their sides. The design was alien, not human, not anything humans had ever built. "Send a message to Earth Command," Li Tae ordered. "Tell them we have unknown ships approaching. Big ones." Commander Kim Woo, the station's military expert, joined them at the command center. He looked at the screen and shook his head. "Those aren't friendly ships, Captain. Look at the weapons." Kim Woo was right. The alien ships bristled with gun ports and missile tubes. They carried enough firepower to destroy planets. Li Tae felt his stomach drop. This was not a trading mission or a peaceful first contact. This was an invasion fleet. "Try to talk to them," Li Tae said. "Open all communication channels." Nari worked at her station. She sent signals on every frequency humans knew. Radio waves, laser communications, quantum transmissions, everything. The alien ships did not answer. They just kept moving toward Dae. Earth down on Earth. Dr. Park Hana was working late in her underground lab beneath Seoul. She was a scientist who studied weapons and physics. Her current project was called Project Mirror. It was supposed to be impossible. She was trying to turn quantum physics into a weapon. Park Hana had been working for 3 years on the same problem. How do you make matter forget how to exist? The math said it could work. Take 2 particles and connect them with quantum entanglement. Make them share the same quantum state, then change one particle in a way that makes it stop existing. The other particle, no matter how far away, would also stop existing. The problem was making it work on a big scale. Park Hana could make 2 atoms disappear. But she needed to make entire objects disappear. Ships, buildings, maybe even planets. Her computer beeped. A message from Earth Defense Command. Unknown alien ships approaching Earth. All scientists were ordered to report to emergency stations. Park Hana saved her work and grabbed her emergency bag. Something told her Project Mirror might become very important very soon. Back on Aegis Prime, the alien fleet was getting closer. Li Tae watched the tactical display with growing fear. The ships were moving faster than anything humans had built. They would reach Earth orbit in less than 6 hours. "Still no response to our messages," Nari reported. "Captain," Kim Woo said quietly, "I think they're positioning for attack." Li Tae looked at the formation. Kim Woo was right. The alien ships were spreading out into attack positions. They surrounded Earth like a net. There was no way to escape, no way to run. Then the aliens finally sent a message. The main screen filled with static. Then a face appeared. It was not human. The alien had gray skin, black eyes, and a mouth full of sharp teeth. When it spoke, the words came through the translation computer. "Primitive species of the third planet," the alien said. Its voice was cold and full of hate. "We are the hegemony. We have come to claim your world. You will surrender now, or you will die. You have no choice." Li Tay stepped forward. "This is Captain Li Tay of Earth Defense. We are a peaceful species. We have done nothing to you. Why are you attacking us?" The alien laughed. It was a terrible sound. "Peaceful? You are insects. Your species is weak. Your technology is primitive. Your world has resources we need. That is reason enough. We can negotiate," Li Tay said. "We can trade. There's no need for violence." "There is no negotiation with insects," the alien replied. "Watch your cities burn. Then you will understand your place." The transmission ended. The main screen went black. For a moment, everyone on Aegis Prime was silent. Then Kim Woo spoke. "Captain, they're charging their weapons." Li Tay looked at the tactical display. Energy readings were spiking across the alien fleet. Massive guns were turning toward Earth. The invasion was about to begin. "Send a priority alert to all Earth defenses," Li Tay ordered. "Prepare for immediate attack. All civilians to emergency shelters. This is not a drill." But Li Tay knew it was too late. Earth's defenses were strong, but not strong enough for this. The alien fleet was 10 times bigger than anything Earth could fight. Humanity was about to face its darkest hour. The first energy beams lanced down from space. They struck Seoul first. The city where Park Hana worked. The city where millions of people lived. The beams cut through the atmosphere like knives of light. When they hit the ground, entire city blocks vanished in balls of fire. Li Tay watched his home world burn. The aliens were not just attacking military targets. They were hitting cities full of innocent people, children, families, everyone. "Monsters," Baynari whispered. More beams struck Tokyo, then New Geneva, then Mumbai. The aliens were destroying Earth's biggest cities one by one. They were sending a message: submit or die. Li Tay clenched his fists. His family lived in Seoul. His parents, his sister, his nephew who was only 5 years old. The aliens had just murdered them all. "Captain," Kim Woo said softly, "what are your orders?" Li Tay looked at his crew. They were scared. They were angry. They wanted to fight, but their weapons were useless against the alien fleet. "We survive," Li Tay said. "We learn everything we can about these aliens, and we make them pay for what they've done." The attack continued for 2 hours. When it was over, 50 million humans were dead. The alien sent one final message: "You have 72 hours to surrender completely. Lay down all weapons. Submit to hegemony rule. If you refuse, we will finish what we started. Your species will become extinct." Then the alien fleet pulled back to the edge of the solar system. They waited. Li Tay stood at his window, looking down at Earth. Smoke rose from the burning cities. The blue marble was now spotted with black scars, but Earth was still there. Humanity was still alive. The aliens had made a mistake. They thought humans would break easily. They thought fear would make humans give up. They were wrong. Li Tay picked up his communicator. "This is Captain Li Tay to all Earth defense stations. The enemy has given us 72 hours. Let's use them." Commander Kim Woo had not slept in 36 hours. His eyes were red and his hands shook from too much coffee, but he kept working. The emergency command center beneath Geneva was full of people, military officers, scientists, engineers, and politicians from every nation on Earth. They all had the same look of cold anger. Kim Woo stood at a huge table covered with holographic displays. The display showed Earth's remaining defenses: space stations, weapon platforms, shield generators, and underground cities. The aliens had destroyed much, but not everything. Earth was wounded, but not dead. Report from Aegis Prime, an officer said. Captain Lee Tae says the alien fleet is holding position. No movement for 12 hours. They're waiting, Kim Woo said. They think we'll surrender. He looked around the room. Are we surrendering? The question was met with silence. Then Admiral Song Yul stepped forward. Song Yul was the head of Earth's entire defense force. He was old, gray-haired, and had fought in 3 wars. His voice was quiet but hard as steel. 50 million people are dead, Admiral Song Yul said. My grandson was in Seoul when they attacked. He was 7 years old. The Admiral's voice did not change, but his hands were clenched into fists. We are not surrendering. A murmur of agreement went through the room. These were people who had lost family, friends, and homes. The aliens had not just attacked Earth. They had made it personal. Dr. Park Hana sat in the corner of the room. She had escaped Seoul through the underground tunnels. Her laboratory was gone. Her life's work was destroyed. But the most important part of Project Mirror was safe. It was in her head. Park Hana stood up. I need to speak. The room went quiet. Everyone looked at the small woman with burned clothes and dirt on her face. My name is Dr. Park Hana, she said. I study quantum physics. I've been working on a project for 3 years, a weapon project. I think it can help us. Admiral Song Yul nodded. Tell us. Park Hana walked to the center of the room. She was scared, but her voice was steady. I've been trying to weaponize quantum entanglement. It's complicated science, but the basic idea is simple. Take 2 particles and connect them. Then make one particle stop existing. The other particle will also stop existing, no matter how far away it is. How does that help us? Kim Woo asked. Scale, Park Hana said. If I can connect millions of particles to particles inside enemy ships, I can make those ships stop existing. Not destroyed, not damaged, they just stop being real. An engineer named Choi Bin laughed. That's impossible. The power requirements alone would need a star. Park Hana shook her head. Not if we use the quantum vacuum itself as a power source. The math works. I've tested it on small scales, but I need help to build it big enough. Engineer Choi Bin stopped, laughing. He was the chief technology officer for Earth Defense. He had built weapons that people said were impossible before. Show me the math. For the next 4 hours, Park Hana and Choi Bin worked together. They filled holographic displays with equations, energy diagrams, and technical specifications. The other people in the room watched in silence. They didn't understand the science, but they understood hope when they saw it. It could work, Choi Bin finally said. But we'd need to build quantum entanglement generators across the entire solar system. We'd need massive amounts of exotic matter, and we'd need to do it all in less than 36 hours. Impossible, someone said. No, Admiral Song Yul said. Difficult. There's a difference. He looked at Park Hana. What do you need? Park Hana took a deep breath. I need every quantum computer on Earth connected to the project. I need every particle accelerator, every fusion reactor, and every manufacturing facility. And I need people who are smarter than me to check my work. You have it, the Admiral said. All of it. While Park Hana and Choi Bin worked on the weapon, other people planned how to use it. Captain Lee Tae was brought down from Aegis Prime to help. He knew more about the alien ships than anyone else. They're confident, Lee Tae said. Too confident. They think we're primitive. They're not even trying to hide their ships or protect them from attack. They're just sitting there waiting for us to surrender. Good, Kim Woo said. Confidence makes people stupid. We can use that. Pilot Bae Nari was also brought to the command center. She was the best pilot in Earth's defense force. Fast, smart, and brave. The kind of person who could fly impossible missions. I need someone to get close to their fleet, Park Hana said. Close enough to plant quantum beacons. The beacons will create entanglement links between our weapon and their ships. How close? Binari asked. Within a few kilometers, Park Hana said. But they can't detect the beacons, or the whole plan fails. Binari grinned. It was not a happy grin. It was the grin of someone who wanted revenge. I can get close. Those aliens destroyed my home city too. I want to return the favor. As the hours passed, the plan took shape. Park Hana's weapon, now called Project Mirror, would be built using hidden facilities across the solar system. Mining stations, research outposts, and communication arrays would all become part of a giant weapon network. The aliens thought humans were primitive because human technology looked simple from the outside. They saw metal and circuits and fusion reactors. They didn't understand that human technology was designed to be flexible. A mining laser could become a weapon. A communication array could become a quantum entanglement generator. A simple computer could control systems across multiple star systems. Engineer Choi Bin worked with teams of people around the world. They built components in secret facilities underground. They programmed quantum computers to calculate entanglement patterns. They turned peaceful machines into instruments of war. Status report, Admiral Song Yul said. 70% complete, Choi Bin said. We'll be ready with 6 hours to spare. Dr. Park Hana was exhausted but excited. The weapon was actually working. The test results showed quantum entanglement fields spreading exactly as predicted. Matter within the fields didn't just get destroyed, it got erased from reality itself. There's something else, Park Hana said. The effect is scalable. If we target the right particles, we can make the entanglement field spread. Like a chain reaction. Meaning? Kim Woo asked. Meaning we don't just target individual ships, Park Hana said. We can target entire fleets, or the space around them. Anything. Caught in the expanding field just stops existing. The room went quiet. Everyone understood what that meant. Humans had just built a weapon that could erase matter from the universe. Not destroy it, not break it apart, make it never have existed in the first place. Will it work on the aliens themselves? Someone asked. Park Hana nodded. It works on any matter. Their ships, their weapons, their bodies, everything. Admiral Song Yul looked around the room. Are we sure we want to do this? This weapon is terrifying. We could kill every alien in their fleet in minutes. Commander Kim Woo spoke first. They killed 50 million innocent people. Children, families, elderly people who never hurt anyone. They came to our home and murdered our people without warning. Captain Lee Tae nodded. They called us insects. They said we were too primitive to live. They gave us a choice, slavery or death. Pilot Bae Nari stepped forward. They want to make us extinct. All of us. Every human everywhere. They think we're animals. Dr. Park Hana looked at the equations on the display. They made one mistake. They attacked us before they understood what we could do. Engineer Choi Bin checked his chronometer. 18 hours until their deadline. The weapon will be ready in 12 hours. Admiral Song Yul made his decision. Dr. Park Hana, prepare your weapon. Captain Lee Tae, return to Aegis Prime and monitor the alien fleet. Pilot Bay Nari, get ready for the most important mission in human history. The room buzzed with activity. People ran to their stations, engineers checked their systems, scientists verified calculations, military officers prepared battle plans. But in the back of the room, Dr. Park Hana sat quietly. She understood what was about to happen. Humans were about to show the universe something new, something terrifying. The aliens thought they were attacking a primitive species. They were about to learn that humans were not primitive at all. They were just very, very good at hiding how dangerous they really were. Engineer Choi Bin had not eaten in 20 hours, but he was not hungry. He was too excited. Standing in the main engineering bay beneath the Swiss Alps, he watched as the impossible became real. Project Mirror was working. Screens around the room showed quantum entanglement generators coming online across the solar system, hidden inside asteroid mining stations, built into communication satellites, disguised as weather monitoring equipment. The aliens had been watching Earth for 3 days, and they had no idea what humans were building. Generator 17 is online, a technician called out. Generator 18 is calibrated and ready, said another. Choi Bin nodded and marked another point on his holographic display. Each generator was a piece of a much larger weapon. When connected together, they would create a quantum field that could erase matter from existence itself. Dr. Park Hana stood beside him, checking calculations on her portable computer. Her eyes were red from exhaustion, but her hands were steady. The entanglement network is stable, she said. We can target any point within 1,000,000 kilometers of Earth. What about power? Choi Bin asked. Each generator draws energy directly from the quantum vacuum, Park Hana explained. The more matter we erase, the more energy becomes available. It's self-sustaining once we start. Choi Bin shook his head in amazement. 3 days ago he would have said this was impossible. Now he was watching it happen. Humans were building a weapon that used the basic structure of reality as ammunition. On Aegis Prime, Captain Lee Tae watched the alien fleet through his telescope. The ships had not moved in 48 hours. They just hung in space like dark metal vultures, waiting for humanity to surrender. Any communication from them? Lee Tae asked. Pilot Bay Nari checked her station. Nothing. They're not even scanning us anymore. I think they believe we've given up. Lee Tae smiled grimly. Good. Overconfidence is a weakness we can use. Through his private communication channel, Lee Tae received an encrypted message from Earth. Project Mirror was almost ready. His mission was simple. Get close enough to the alien fleet to plant quantum beacons without being detected. The beacons were small devices, each no bigger than a coffee cup. But they were the most important pieces of technology humans had ever built. Each beacon would create quantum entanglement links between Project Mirror and the alien ships. Once the links were established, the aliens would be connected to Earth's weapon whether they knew it or not. Bay Nari, Lee Tae said, prepare the stealth shuttle. We have work to do. The stealth shuttle was a small ship designed to avoid detection. It used human technology that the aliens had dismissed as primitive. No advanced energy shields, no exotic materials, just simple metal, basic electronics, and chemical rockets. to alien sensors designed to detect high-energy weapons and faster than light drives, the shuttle was nearly invisible. It looked like space junk. Lee Tay and Bay Nari climbed into the shuttle along with 2 other crew members. They carried 12 quantum beacons and enough supplies for a 6-hour mission. If they were caught, they would die. If they failed, humanity would have no way to target the alien fleet. "Launch when ready," Lee Tay said. The shuttle drifted away from Aegis Prime using only small positioning thrusters. To anyone watching, it looked like a piece of debris floating in space. Slowly, quietly, it moved toward the alien fleet. Back on Earth, Dr. Park Hana made final adjustments to the mirror array. The weapon was unlike anything humans had built before. It didn't fire energy beams or launch missiles. Instead, it reached across space using quantum mechanics and convinced matter to stop existing. "Status report," Admiral Song Yul asked over the communication system. "All generators are online," Park Hana replied. "Power levels are stable. Targeting systems are calibrated. We're ready." "What's the effective range?" "Theoretically unlimited," Park Hana said. "Once we establish quantum entanglement with a target, distance doesn't matter. We could erase a ship on the other side of the galaxy." Engineer Choi Bin was monitoring power systems when he noticed something unexpected. "Dr. Park Hana, look at this." She joined him at his workstation. The screen showed energy readings from the quantum generators. "What am I looking at?" "The generators aren't just ready to fire," Choi Bin said. "They're improving themselves. The quantum field is getting stronger on its own." Park Hana studied the data. "That's impossible, unless—" She paused, understanding what was happening. "The quantum vacuum is resonating with our generators. The weapon is becoming more powerful the longer it runs." "What does that mean?" "It means we underestimated our own weapon," Park Hana said. "We built it to erase individual ships, but it's becoming something much more powerful." Meanwhile, the stealth shuttle was approaching the alien fleet. Captain Lee Tay could see the massive ships through the viewport. Each one was the size of a small moon, covered with weapons and armor that could destroy planets. "Alien patrol ship. At bearing 270, Baynari whispered. Lee Tay looked where she pointed. A sleek alien fighter was moving between the larger ships. It was smaller than the dreadnoughts, but still bigger than most human vessels. "Hold position," Lee Tay said. "Let it pass." The alien fighter drifted by without detecting them. Its sensors were designed to spot advanced technology, not a simple metal box with basic rockets. "First beacon deployment point in 30 seconds, Baynari said. Lee Tay opened the beacon compartment and pulled out the first device. It was smooth and black, covered with quantum field generators and entanglement transmitters. When activated, it would create invisible links between the alien ship and Earth's weapon. "Deploying Beacon 1, Lee Tay said. He pushed the beacon out of the shuttle's cargo bay. It drifted silently toward the nearest alien dreadnought, using tiny thrusters to attach itself to the ship's hull. Once in contact, the beacon activated automatically and began creating quantum entanglement links. "Beacon 1 is active," Baynari confirmed, checking her instruments. "Quantum signature is stable." They moved to the next target, then the next. For 3 hours, they planted beacons throughout the alien fleet. Each beacon linked another ship to Project Mirror. The aliens had no idea they were being marked for destruction. "That's all 12 beacons," Lee Tay said as they finished. "Time to go home." But as they turned to leave, alarms started sounding. On the alien ships, red lights flashed across the fleet. The aliens had discovered something. "Did they detect the beacons?" Baynari asked. Lee Tay checked his instruments. No, they're responding to something else. Through their communication system, they heard an alien transmission. The translation computer worked to convert the alien language to human words. Fleet Command. This is reconnaissance ship Kalar. We have detected unusual energy readings from the third planet. The humans are building something. Li Tay felt his blood turn cold. If the aliens discovered Project Mirror before it was ready, humanity would lose its only chance. Investigating energy source, the alien continued. It appears to be some kind of primitive power generation. Nothing threatening. Li Tay almost laughed. The aliens were detecting the most powerful weapon humans had ever built, and they thought it was a primitive power generator. Recommend continued monitoring, the alien reported, but no immediate threat detected. The red light stopped flashing. The alarms went quiet. The alien fleet returned to its waiting position. They still don't understand, Nari said quietly. Good, Li Tay replied. Let's keep it that way. The shuttle drifted back toward Aegis Prime, still looking like harmless debris. Behind them, 12 quantum beacons sent invisible signals to Earth. The signals carried information about alien ship positions, shield frequencies, and structural weak points. On Earth, Dr. Park Hana received the beacon data and smiled for the first time in 3 days. We have them, she said to Engineer Choi Bin. Every major ship in their fleet is connected to our weapon. When do we fire? Choi Bin asked. Park Hana looked at the countdown timer. 8 hours until their deadline. But we don't need to wait. The weapon is ready now. Admiral Song Yul's voice came over the communication system. Dr. Park Hana, this is Admiral Song Yul. Are you ready to show these aliens what humans can do? Park Hana looked at the control panel for Project Mirror. One button would activate the most powerful weapon in human history. One button would erase an entire alien fleet from existence. Yes, Admiral, she said. We're ready. Then let's give them an answer they'll never forget. The alien commander stood on the bridge of his flagship, looking down at the small blue planet below. His name was Vortak, and he had conquered 47 worlds for the hegemony. Earth would be number 48. Time remaining? Vortak asked his weapons officer. 2 hours until the deadline, Commander, the officer replied. The humans have sent no communication, no surrender, no plea for mercy. Vortak nodded. Stubborn insects. They think their primitive weapons can protect them. He looked at the bot's tactical display showing Earth's defenses, a few space stations, some orbital platforms, and scattered ships. Nothing that could threaten his massive fleet. When the deadline passes, we will show them the price of defiance, Vortak said. Begin charging the planet-killer weapons. On Earth, Admiral Song Yul stood in the command center with his senior staff. The countdown clock showed 1 hour and 57 minutes until the alien deadline. But humanity would not wait that long. All stations, report status, the Admiral said. Project Mirror is fully operational, Dr. Park Hana replied. All generators online, all quantum beacons active. We have targeting locks on 432 alien vessels. Fighter squadrons ready for escort duty, pilot Bay Nari, reported from her command ship. Defense platforms charged and ready, Commander Kim Woo added. Earth evacuation complete, another officer said. All civilian populations are in underground shelters. Admiral Song Yul nodded. Everything was ready. He opened a communication channel to the alien fleet. This is Admiral Song Yul of Earth Defense. Command, he said. We received your ultimatum. We have an answer for you. On the alien flagship, Vortak heard the transmission and laughed. The insects want to talk. Put them on screen. The main display showed Admiral Song Yul standing in a military command center. He was an old human with gray hair and hard eyes. He did not look afraid. "We know you are listening," Admiral Song Yul said. "You came to our world uninvited. You murdered 50 million innocent people. You called us insects and demanded our surrender." Vortak leaned forward in his command chair. "You have 53 minutes to surrender unconditionally. After that, your species becomes extinct." Admiral Song Yul smiled. It was not a pleasant smile. "You bombed us? Charming. Watch this." The transmission ended. Vortak stared at the empty screen for a moment. Something about the human's tone bothered him. The old man had not sounded defeated. He had sounded confident. "Commander," the sensor officer called out, "I'm detecting energy spikes from the planet, multiple locations." "Show me," Vortak ordered. The tactical display lit up with energy readings from across Earth's solar system. Mining stations, communication satellites, research outposts, all of them were suddenly drawing enormous amounts of power. "What are they doing?" Vortak asked. Before anyone could answer, the universe changed. Dr. Park Hana pressed the activation button for Project Mirror. Across the solar system, quantum entanglement generators came online simultaneously. The effect was immediate and beautiful and terrifying. Space itself began to ripple around the alien fleet. Reality twisted as quantum fields spread outward from the beacons Captain Lee Tay had planted. The aliens' sensors screamed warnings, but there was nothing to see. No energy beams, no missiles, no explosions, just matter forgetting how to exist. This first alien ship to disappear was a destroyer on the edge of the formation. One moment it was there, a kilometer-long vessel bristling with weapons. The next moment, there was empty space. Not destroyed, not broken apart, simply gone, as if it had never existed at all. "What happened to Ship 47? Vortak demanded. "Unknown, Commander," the sensor officer replied, his voice shaking. "It just stopped being there." Then another ship vanished. Then 3 more. The quantum field was spreading through the fleet like a wave, erasing everything it touched. Alien crews had seconds to scream before they stopped existing. "All ships, emergency jump to hyperspace," Vortak ordered, but hyperspace was not an escape. The quantum entanglement field followed the fleeing ships through higher dimensions. Ships that jumped to hyperspace simply vanished in mid-jump, leaving no trace they had ever existed. "Commander, we're losing entire squadrons," the weapons officer reported. "Whatever the humans are doing, our shields can't stop it." Vortak watched his fleet disappear piece by piece. These were the most advanced warships in the galaxy, protected by energy shields that could stop planet-killing weapons. But they were useless against a force that made matter forget its own existence. "Return fire," Vortak ordered. "Destroy everything on that planet." The surviving alien ships opened fire on Earth. Massive energy beams lanced down from space, striking cities and military bases, but for every shot they fired, more ships vanished from the fleet. On Earth, Commander Kim Woo watched the alien attack. From his command bunker, energy beams struck the planet's surface, destroying buildings and melting rock. But most of the shots hit empty ground. The important facilities were hidden underground. "They're panicking," Kim Woo observed. "Good." Meanwhile, Pilot Bay Nari led her fighter squadron toward the alien fleet. Not to attack, but to herd the surviving ships into specific areas where Project Mirror's effect was strongest. "Dragon Squadron, follow my lead," Bay Nari commanded. "Drive those ships toward Grid Section 7. The human fighters were tiny compared. to the alien vessels, but they were fast and hard to hit. They darted between the larger ships, forcing them to change course. The aliens tried to shoot at the fighters, but their weapons were designed for ship-to-ship combat, not dogfighting. "They're moving into the target zone," Bay Nari reported. Dr. Park Hana watched the tactical display and adjusted Project Mirror's targeting parameters. "Increasing field intensity in Grid Section 7, she announced. The effect was immediate. A dozen alien ships simply stopped existing as the quantum field intensified around them. The remaining ships tried to escape, but everywhere they went, the field followed. Vortak realized his fleet was doomed. In 30 minutes, he had lost over 300 ships to a weapon he could not understand or fight. His mighty invasion fleet was being erased from reality by creatures he had dismissed as primitive insects. "Commander," his communications officer said, "I'm receiving a transmission from the human planet." "Put it through," Vortak said. Admiral Song Yul appeared on the screen again. Behind him, Dr. Park Hana worked at a control panel covered with quantum field displays. "Alien Commander," Admiral Song Yul said, "you have lost over half your fleet. Our weapon is still active. It will continue to erase your ships until none remain." "What do you want?" Vortak asked. "Surrender," Admiral Song Yul replied. "Immediately and unconditionally. Order your remaining ships to power down all weapons and prepare to be boarded." Vortak looked at his tactical display. He had started with 500 ships. Now fewer than 100 remained, and they were disappearing every few minutes. "If I surrender, will you spare my crew?" Vortak asked. "That depends, Admiral," Song Yul said, "on how cooperative you are." Vortak made his decision. "All ships cease fire, power down weapons, prepare for human boarding parties." Dr. Park Hana reduced Project Mirror's intensity but kept the weapon active. The quantum field still surrounded the alien fleet, ready to erase any ship that tried to escape or fight. "Boarding shuttles launched," Commander Kim Woo reported. "We'll have control of their remaining ships within the hour." Captain Lee Tae led the first boarding party onto Vortak's flagship. The alien crew was terrified and confused. They had never encountered a species that could make their ships stop existing. "Where's your commander?" Lee Tae asked. An alien soldier pointed toward the bridge. Lee Tae and his team made their way through corridors designed for creatures larger than humans. When they reached the bridge, they found Vortak waiting for them. "You are Captain Lee Tae," Vortak said. "I have heard your name. And you are the alien who murdered 50 million innocent people," Lee Tae replied. "I should kill you right now." "Why don't you?" Lee Tae smiled coldly. "Because you're going to help us send a message to the rest of your hegemony." Back on Earth, Dr. Park Hana studied the data from Project Mirror. The weapon had performed better than expected. Much better. "Engineer Choi Bin," she called out, "look at these readings." Choi Bin joined her at the control station. "What am I looking at?" "The quantum entanglement effect," Park Hana said. "It's not just erasing the ships we targeted, it's creating new entanglement links through the aliens' own communication systems." "Meaning?" Park Hana's eyes were bright with excitement and fear. "Meaning we're now quantum entangled with every hegemony ship in the galaxy. Every fleet, every base, every world they control." Choi Bin understood immediately. "We can erase them all." "Not just their ships," Park Hana said. "Their entire civilization. Every alien world, every conquered species, everything they've built across the galaxy. We could make the entire hegemony stop existing." Admiral Song Yul heard their conversation over the communication system. "Dr. Park Hana, are you saying we now have the power to commit genocide on a galactic scale?" Yes, Admiral, Park Hana replied quietly. That's exactly what I'm saying. Commander Kim Woo stood in the interrogation room looking down at the alien database they had captured from Vortak's flagship. The data was horrifying and useful at the same time. 847 species, Kim Woo said to Admiral Song Yul. The hegemony has conquered 847 different worlds in the past 1,000 years. Admiral Song Yul studied the holographic display. It showed the galaxy with red dots marking every world under hegemony control. There were thousands of red dots. How many people? Trillions, Kim Woo replied. Maybe hundreds of trillions. All of them slaves to the hegemony. The database contained detailed records of every conquest. The hegemony had a simple method. They would arrive at a world with overwhelming force, destroy a few cities to prove their power, then demand surrender. Most species gave up immediately. Those that fought were extinct within weeks. They've never lost a war, Kim Woo continued. Every species they've attacked has either surrendered or died, until now. Dr. Park Hana entered the room carrying a portable computer. Her face was pale but determined. I've been analyzing the quantum entanglement data. The connection is stable. We can reach any hegemony ship or facility in the galaxy. How accurate is the targeting? Admiral Song Yul asked. Perfect, Park Hana said. We can erase individual ships, entire fleets, or whole star systems. The quantum field will affect anything we choose to target. Engineer Choi Bin joined them, looking excited and worried. Admiral, we need to talk about power levels. Project Mirror is drawing energy from the quantum vacuum itself. The more we use it, the stronger it becomes. Explain. The weapon is growing, Choi Bin said. Every time we erase matter, it creates more quantum entanglement possibilities. We could eventually have enough power to erase entire galaxies. Admiral Song Yul sat down heavily. So we've built a weapon that could destroy the universe. Not destroy, Dr. Park Hana corrected. Erase. Make it never have existed in the first place. The room was quiet for a long moment. Then Captain Lee. Tay entered, accompanied by the alien commander Vortak. The alien was wearing human restraints and looked defeated. The prisoner wants to make a deal, Lee Tay said. Vortak stepped forward. I have information about hegemony military positions, fleet locations, base coordinates, command structures. I will give you everything in exchange for my life. Why? Would you betray your own people? Admiral Song Yul asked. Because they are not my people, Vortak replied. I am Kalarian. My species was conquered by the hegemony 300 years ago. They made me a commander in their fleet, but I am still a slave. Kim Woo looked at the alien database. Kalarians. Here they are. Conquered in the year 2087 by hegemony standards. Population before conquest, 12 billion. Current population, 2 billion. They killed 10 billion of your people? Lee Tay asked. They worked them to death in the mines, Vortak said. My entire family died building hegemony warships. I joined their military because it was the only way to survive. Admiral Song Yul studied the alien commander. How many species in the hegemony are like you? Conquered peoples forced to serve? Most of them, Vortak replied. The true hegemony. Species, the overlords, number maybe a few billion. Everyone else is a slave. Dr. Park Hana looked at her computer screen. That changes everything. If we erase the hegemony leadership, we might free hundreds of species instead of committing genocide. Or we might cause chaos that kills trillions, Engineer Choi Bin pointed out. Admiral Song Yul made his decision. Dr. Park Hana, can you target specific individuals instead of entire ships? In theory, yes, she replied. If we have detailed biological data, we can create quantum entanglement with specific life forms. Vortak, the Admiral said, give us everything you know about hegemony leadership. Names, locations, biological data, everything. For the next 6 hours, Vortak provided detailed intelligence about the hegemony command structure. The overlords lived on a single world called Dominion Prime. They numbered fewer than 1 billion individuals, but they controlled the entire galaxy through fear and superior technology. They believe they are the master race, Vortak explained. All other species exist only to serve them. They have never been challenged because they attack primitive worlds with overwhelming force. What happens if the overlords disappear? Kim Woo asked. Their slave species will be free, Vortak said. Some will celebrate, others will fight for control of hegemony technology, but none of them will continue the conquests. The slave species hate the overlords more than they hate each other. Dr. Park Hana worked with the captured alien database to identify overlord biological signatures. The aliens were different enough from other species that targeting them specifically was possible. I can isolate the overlords, she announced. If we activate Project Mirror with these parameters, only the ruling class will be affected. Everyone else will survive. How many overlords? Admiral Song Yul asked. 837 million, Dr. Park Hana replied. We would be committing genocide, Engineer Choi Bin said quietly. No, Captain Lee Tae said. We would be stopping genocide. The overlords have killed trillions of people across hundreds of worlds. They're planning to exterminate humanity. They're planning to exterminate every free species in the galaxy. Admiral Song Yul looked around the room. Everyone understand what we're deciding. If we do this, we become the most powerful military force in galactic history. We also become responsible for whatever happens next. The alternative is letting the hegemony continue, Kim Woo said. How many more worlds will they destroy? How many more species will go extinct? Dr. Park Hana checked her calculations one final time. The targeting parameters are ready. I can eliminate the overlord species and leave everyone else unharmed. Do it, Admiral Song Yul said. Dr. Park Hana activated Project Mirror with the new targeting parameters. Across the galaxy, quantum entanglement fields reached through space and time to touch specific biological signatures on Dominion Prime and thousands of other worlds. The effect was immediate and invisible. 837 million. Overlords simply stopped existing. Not killed, not destroyed, but erased from reality as if they had never been born. On Dominion Prime, slave species workers suddenly found themselves alone in massive government buildings. Hegemony fleets across the galaxy discovered their commanding officers had vanished. Conquered worlds realized their oppressors were gone. It's done, Dr. Park Hana said quietly. Within hours, reports began reaching Earth through captured hegemony communication networks. Slave species were taking control of hegemony ships and bases. Some groups were declaring independence. Others were fighting over territory, but none of them were attacking innocent worlds. The galaxy is free, Vortak said with wonder in his voice. For the first time in 1,000 years, the galaxy is free. But Admiral Song Yul was not finished. He opened a communication channel to every former hegemony world in the galaxy. His message was broadcast on every frequency, translated into every known language. This is Admiral Song Yul of Earth, he said. We are the species you knew as humans. 3 days ago, the hegemony attacked our world and murdered 50 million of our people. Today, we have eliminated the hegemony leadership. The message continued. Every species enslaved by the hegemony is now free. Every conquered world can choose its own destiny. We will not replace the hegemony as your rulers. We will not demand tribute or obedience. However, Admiral Song Yule's voice became hard as steel. We will not tolerate aggression against innocent species. Any group that attacks defenseless worlds will face the same fate as the overlords. Any species that chooses conquest over cooperation will discover that humans have very long memories and very powerful weapons. The Admiral paused, then continued with a gentler tone. To those species seeking help rebuilding their worlds, we offer assistance. To those who wish to trade and cooperate, we welcome friendship. To those who simply want to be left alone, we respect your choice. The age of galactic empire is over. The age of freedom has begun. Captain Lee Tay stood at the window of the rebuilt Aegis Prime station, looking out at Earth. The planet was healing. The burned cities were being rebuilt. New space stations orbited the world, carrying visitors from dozens of former hegemony, species who wanted to meet the humans who had freed the galaxy. Dr. Park Hana joined him at the window. Project Mirror is being deactivated, she said. We're shutting down the quantum generators. All of them? Lee Tay asked. Most of them, Park Hana replied. We're keeping a few active just in case. The galaxy is free now, but freedom requires protection. Engineer Choi Bin approached them. The first human exploration ships are ready to launch. 50 vessels carrying scientists, engineers, and diplomats to help rebuild conquered worlds. And the military ships? Lee Tay asked. Also ready, Choi Bin said. 100 vessels carrying advanced weapons and mirror array technology, just in case someone decides they want to restart the Age of Empires. Pilot Bay Nari walked up to join the group. I've been assigned to the diplomatic mission to the Kalarian homeworld. Vortak will be coming with us to help with negotiations. How is he adjusting? Lee Tay asked. He's still getting used to the idea that his people are free, Bay Nari replied. 300 years of slavery doesn't end overnight.